Hi everybody, Cindy.
And this is Gary.
And we are Pathways Homestead, and we're doing another Frugal Friday episode. And today's episode is...
We're going to talk about our anniversary.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how Frugal Friday tip this is, but we're going to tell you about something we're excited about that's part of our frugal lifestyle. So, how long have you been putting up with me?
26 years.
Yeah.
That we've been putting up with each other.
And that's why we're not getting our new glasses, too.
No, those will be coming. Those will be coming.
Yeah. So we've been married 26 years.
Yep.
this last week. And for our 26th anniversary, we talked about what we wanted to do and what kind of presents we wanted to get each other. And Cindy said she wanted a house on 11 acres.
I meant that I already had everything I wanted and needed.
So we sold some calves the week before, and we took the profit from the calf check. We saved back our capital, and we took the profit, and we went and paid our farm off. And so now we are completely debt-free.
Yes.
And that is a goal we had. That's part of the reason we bought this place, because we could see that we could pay it off in a very timely manner. So in just over 4 years,
Yep.
we have paid off our 11 acres. We've been renting to own it from a very close friend. And we went to their house last Wednesday and sat down and just talked for a long time and paid the farm off. And we were all excited, and so were they. And, we were, that's the goal. Part of the goal of frugality is to be able to live a lifestyle on less income, to be able to enjoy your time and your few possessions instead of always working at trying to pay bills. And that's something we've gotten to do, is to pay this place off. And you guys have seen our Frugal Friday stuff, that we pay cash for our vehicles, and we don't use credit cards. We only use debit cards where needed. We don't use credit cards, so we don't have those to pay off. We have managed, sometimes we end up with medical expenses,
Yes.
but right now we don't have any of those, and so we have managed to pay everything off, and we are completely debt free. And so that's something we're excited about.
So that's kind of the fun thing. We did pay, our payments were more, our monthly payments, we paid more than what was the agreed upon payment, so that we would pay that principal, pay it off faster. And so that Frugal Friday tip, if you are able, pay a little extra on the principal of your mortgage, if you're able. And that's, I guess that's Frugal Friday tip.
And also a principle that can be used out of the way we do things if you're not as close to debt free as we have been. You take your smallest bill, the bill you can affect first, and you put all your extra on it, and you get it paid off. And then you work on the next one, and then you work on the next one. Keep putting your extra towards the one you can pay off first.
And we've used that in the past.
Yes.
And even before we really knew who Dave Ramsey was,
Yes.
that was the principle we used, and he pushes that as, he calls it the debt snowball, and we chose that. We chose that avenue before, and then we just, so like, we were at a point in time where we had 2 vehicle payments and our house payment, and we had some medical bills. And we were either needed to consolidate everything, or at least consolidate the medical bills. And we were just, what do we do? What do we do? And I'm not sure if it was just something we came up with together, or if someone had said something. But that was the decision we made. We took the smallest one, and I think I was I think I honestly had a $5 payment I was making a month on a medical bill. And I know I had a 5, I had a 10, I had a 15, and I had a 25. And we chose to take that $5 one, and we pushed, I made a $10. And then anytime we got anything extra, got a tax return, whatever, we paid off as much as we could and still kept a reserve. So
we've paid off many bills with calf checks.
With calf checks, that's just been how it has worked for us. We've done that for years and years. So we weren't able to do that in Wyoming. In Wyoming, it was the, tax return, any little side jobs we got. We just put that little bit of extra into our smallest bill. Some people choose to do their bill with the highest interest rate. It's however you choose to do it, just so long as you are working at paying on those bills and paying them off. So we'd pay off the smallest one, and we would take that payment, so that $5 plus the $5 extra we were paying a month, and we'd pay that extra $10 onto the $10 one. So we'd be paying $20 a month on that $10 one and getting it paid off, and then roll it up to the $15 one, and then the $25 one, and it just paid things off that much quicker.
Part of the reason we're so excited about paying our place off is the sense of accomplishment.
Yes.
And if you pay on your smallest bill first and get it paid off, that sense of accomplishment helps encourage you to continue to pay and to work towards that debt-free goal. And that's part of the reason that you would pick a smaller bill to do that with. But definitely interest rate has something to do with that too. We haven't dealt with high interest rates, hardly any. So that's never been an issue for us. But that sense of accomplishment of getting one paid off and being able to see, maybe it just changed your, we've had some medical bills we've paid off, and it's just meant $25 less a month we were paying, or $5 or $10 less a month we were paying, but it was one less bill.
Right.
Instead of paying 5 bills, now we were paying 4. Or instead of paying 7, now we were paying 6. And that may not make a huge monetary difference when you pay off a bill that you're paying $5 a month on, but it felt like you'd accomplished something, like you were getting there. And that's part of helps keep you encouraged to continue to work at being frugal and getting bills paid off. And one of the things that we have practiced pretty regular is you just don't get in debt.
Right.
And we have never done the credit cards because we saw that as a trap to get us in a hole that we would have to work at getting out of. But if you've gotten in that hole, a lot of people do. Nothing bad about your character, but if you've gotten in that hole, work at paying them off. Work at paying those debts off. We've gotten in some holes that we didn't intend to, like medical bills. Right. And we borrowed some money on vehicles that we wish later we wouldn't have. But right now we have managed to get a debt-free life, and we're happy about that. And the payment here on this place wasn't a whole lot, and it was a very manageable bill, and we could have lived like that for a long, long time. And if we get the opportunity to buy more land like that, we will.
Right.
We will, and we're looking right now at trying to get some things together to maybe buy some more land at some point in time.
And we are going to do some things to build our credit score. Yeah. I shared with you guys on a previous Frugal Friday that our credit score is bad, not because we have not paid bills, but because we've not taken enough loans recently.
It's not, our credit score is not bad, it's non-existent.
Yes.
We just don't have one.
We don't have one because we haven't borrowed money from a bank or a lending institution. We haven't borrowed from a money lender. We just contract to deed on this place. And so we need to do that. So we're looking at different things, looking at different ways to grow that credit score, because if the opportunity arises and the conditions are right, we would like to have more land. But we're going to leave that up to the Lord, and we're fully confident that if He intends for us to have more land or something different, He will provide that, and He will make a way. It is a little bothersome and that we don't have a credit score, and so it's affected, like even our kids getting student loans for college, that we don't have a credit score. So which I'm not that sad about that because I really have a problem with student loans.
I think they're a trap too.
Yes,
they can be a trap.
They
sometimes they're needed.
Yes.
But sometimes they can be a trap.
I see so many kids. I had a young lady tell me the other day she would have her house paid off before she would have her student loans paid off. That she could not see having her student loans paid off before she died. And I thought, really? That's crazy. And this is a girl that's in her 20s. I mean, seriously, 26, 27 years old. And I was just floored, absolutely floored that they would have that much student debt. And, yeah, just craziness. And unfortunately, they're not even working in the field that they got their degree in. And so their education, in their eyes, was wasted. So that time was wasted, not necessarily the education, but the time was wasted. The debt is a burden. It is a huge burden to them and their family. And so we are encouraging our kids to work their way through college, to do their best to work their way through. And so we have one that goes a semester and works a semester. And we have one that works at a college and works at a college so that they get part of their tuition covered. And they just take a class or two at a time so that they can work full time. And then we have one going into college this fall, and we'll just have to see how that works out.
So send donations to...
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. But anyway, so that's where we're at. We did do tracking. We tracked our debt every time. Over the whole years, we've tracked our debt. I use... I've showed you guys my folder that I buy from Dollar General to my bill organizer. I've showed you guys that on some of my previous Frugal Fridays. Before that, Gary's grandmother taught me to use just a notebook. And that was just one of the words of wisdom she gave me when we were first married that she felt like married couples needed to know. And I was very appreciative of that. And so for many years, I just used a regular notebook, just a spiral notebook. I wrote down every month when the bill came in, when I paid it, the check number, if I paid with check, if it was automatic withdrawal, I wrote that down. If it was however I paid it. If I paid it cash, I wrote it down. And then in another part of that notebook, I had what was our debt, and kept track every month when we made a payment. Some people do really neat things and make it a family thing, and they'll make a paper chain, or they'll make a graph and they'll color in blocks. And so I did a little bit of that whenever our goal was to get the house here. I did do a little bit of filling in the blocks every time we got a chunk of money put in the savings towards our house, towards the water, towards whatever. I would color in a block and track that. Just for me, I don't know that I really shared that with anybody, but
I think the paper chain is a really cool idea.
Yeah.
Like if you're in a pretty big debt that you're trying to get out of, you make a paper chain, and every link represents so many $100 or $100 or whatever. And when you pay off a piece of it, when you make a payment on it, you can go cut part of that chain link off, and you can see that chain, hang it up in your living room or your kitchen or whatever, and you can see it getting smaller. And that's a good motivational tool. That's like that sense of accomplishment that you can make with just one payment.
Right.
You've accomplished something, and so that's a good tool to encourage yourself.
So, and always pray and do what's best for you guys. And we don't expect everybody to do things the way we've done them.
Nope.
And just because you do it different doesn't make it bad.
This would be a scary world if everybody did things like I do them.
Yeah. So, figure out what works for you. And we just wanted to share what we do in case there's somebody out there searching that needs a little bit of help, and our ideas might help them in some way to make a game plan for themselves.
I just want you to know that in your 40s, what are we saying, mid-40s, early 40s?
Yeah, we're in our mid-40s.
Mid-40s. In your mid-40s, it is completely, totally possible to to be debt free,
Mm-hmm.
to have a piece of land and a home and vehicles that run, and to live debt free. It's possible. It's possible to do it younger than that. We've been paying on this place just a little over 4 years, and we had it. Now we put a lot of work into it. There was some savings that we used to pay cash for some things,
Right.
but and it is not Martha Stewart. It's not Better Homes and Gardens. It is an old trailer house on an old place,
Yeah.
but we love it,
Yeah.
and it is ours, and it is paid for, and it's possible to do that. So when you see homesteading stuff and they tell you you've got to have $100,000 to have a homestead, or you $80,000, or you need that kind of chunk, you don't have to. You can get into a cheaper place and get it paid off for a lot less than that. And part of it is situational. We were blessed with a very good deal here with very good friends, no doubt about it. This isn't something you could go to a realtor and find.
Right.
This is something that it is built out of relationships, and building the place has been the reason we've been able to do that debt free, is because we had a relationship where people could help us and would help us, and people that we loved and cared about and we helped, and they would come help us, and
Yes, we couldn't have done this all on our own.
no.
But look for foreclosures. That's another way. Debt auctions or foreclosure, tax auctions. Those are ways to find property cheap.
Look for a place that needs a lot of work.
Yes, look for yeah.
And if you find a place that needs a lot of work, that a lot of people that do some of that work say that's a little more than I want to do, if you're willing to live with it like it is and do the work slowly, you can get in a lot cheaper. This place, to make this a home place, there's a lot of work here, and most people would say, I don't think I want to do that, but we did, and it's all right, and we've lived here and love it, and then the first thing we put here was a chicken house.
Yeah.
But, it is completely possible, and we're nothing special. We don't make big incomes. It's not like if we were making $70,000 a year and we could make a big chunk of that on payments. It's not anything like that. We make a very minimal income.
Less than 20,000. I'm not going to give you the number, but it's less than 20,000.
So we make a minimal income, and we're still able to own our own place. And I have said before that the best thing you can raise, the best thing you can grow, is relationships, and that's what's made this possible for sure. But
guys, we live our version of the American dream. And it's not only our version, it was a lot of our predecessors' version of the American dream. To have a home, have a piece of property of our own, and be debt free. Everybody's American dream looks different, but I want you guys, if you are feeling that tug to be countercultural, I want you to find that it's okay. It's okay to be countercultural. It's okay to go against the grain so long as you're not breaking the law.
it's all right to live in a 25-year-old trailer house.
It's all right to look junky.
It's all right to live in a camper. It's all right to live in a tent. It's all right to build a shed. And your sheds, the colors don't have to match.
They don't.
And
you don't have to have a Martha Stewart home with a swimming pool in the backyard and $50,000 vehicles to live the American dream.
Yep.
You don't have to. But if that's your American dream, live it. Go for it.
And it's okay to haul sheep in a minivan.
It is okay to haul sheep in a minivan. Or a goat in your kid's lap in the Suburban.
Yes.
Or chickens in the back of a Subaru.
So it is, I just want to encourage you that if you've got a goal,
yes,
you can do it. If you've got a goal, you can figure out how to make it happen. You may have to modify the goal. You need to find the core of that goal. Is the core of that goal to have a big fancy house, or is it to have a piece of land paid off? Right. If you're thinking you want a farm, well, what's the core of that goal? Is the core of that goal a big nice farmhouse, or is it a piece of ground that's paid off?
Right.
And so our goal has been having something that we had paid off.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. And no big fancy farmhouse here, but enough room to milk a goat in the kitchen.
Yes.
So.
Oh, and to have have our couple of calves in the lot, and to have big gardens, and to have our chickens and our goats and our dogs
And I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but our gardens haven't done well this year.
they have not done well this year.
There's a multitude of reasons,
Yes.
between pests and weed control, and I'm not sure what went on with our beans. Some of it was water, but then some of it looks like maybe there's some
We might have got some overspray from
a crop duster.
from crop dusting.
I don't know, but our gardens haven't done well. Our spring garden did well. Our summer garden
Yeah.
has not done well.
But fall garden is looking promising.
Yep.
The rain pattern broke. We went through about 6 weeks of dry, and so the beans are strange. It really does look like we've got some overspray damage from.
But there's tomatoes and stuff on the other side of them that
Yeah.
doesn't look like it has any damage. So I don't know. We don't know what's going on.
We don't
with
know
some
what
of our
happened
garden.
there.
But we know that if you are small farming, you've got to diversify.
Yep.
And so we've still got calves, and we've still got hogs, and we had the broiler chickens, and
Yep.
we've got laying hens, and we had more than one garden, and
Right.
more than one crop growing, and so we're part of getting this place paid off has been encouraging, even in a bad garden year.
Yeah.
And
It's just a little discouraging because we've had 2 poor gardening years. And there's a multitude of reasonings for that. Weather patterns has been a big thing, and overspray has been a little bit for both years, and not enough water, which would be and not enough time is another big issue. When you get to gardening on this scale, we're going to have to step up our game. We're going to have to pour more resources into weed control, whether it be weed barriers or how we do that. Our roost out is just not enough here. There needs to be more. Whether we add newspaper and cardboard to the bottom of the hay and stuff, we don't know. But we're willing to learn. We're willing to try new things, and that's kind of what this whole Frugal Friday is about, to encourage you guys to try new things, to step outside your boundaries, and to challenge yourself, and to learn and to grow. But as always, we could not have done this without the Lord. Our relationship with Jesus Christ is number one. We could not have done this without our relationship with each other. Not that it's always great all the time, because we have fusses. We fuss. Believe it or not, we do. And
we never fuss about making videos.
oh, whatever. Listen to him, fib, and he's the preacher, y'all. Anyway, lying like a dog in the sun. Anyway, and our relationship with friends and people around us. So, without that, this would not be possible at all. Without those 3 relationships, and without our kids, I guess that would be the people around us. But yeah, our kids and our families and our friends have put in a lot of work with us. They've been right there with us. Need a nap? They've been right there with us working hard. And I know this is a long video, and I hope you guys enjoy it. But so that's our Frugal Friday tip, and I believe we're on number 18. I'll look and see. But
this is Frugal Friday number.
Yeah, Frugal Friday number. Because it's so far, I can't keep track. It's either 18 or 19. We're somewhere along in there. So thank you guys for watching, and I pray you have a blessed day.
Hide and watch.